I've been getting a lot of kingdom marriage words, and you know what? I can't pick and choose the words that God gives me, but I noticed that I've been receiving a lot of kingdom marriage words recently, and I know it means that God is doing something in this season where He is definitely bringing kingdom couples together, whether they're meeting each other for the first time or they're reconciling, but God is doing something. God is up to something, okay? This word is, I'm going to use the reference of Esther. However, although in the book of Esther, the women were not really competing with each other, they were kind of all picked to bring to the king to make his decision. It wasn't the women competing with each other and seeing each other as a threat. Like, hey, that may have happened. However, it doesn't say that in the book of Esther. It says that all the women were kind of being taught and being told to do the same routines, and the king would meet with each one of them, and the king would make a decision as to who he feels would be the best replacement for Vashti. Okay, so I received a message from God last night, okay, and he audibly said they are competing with you. Keywords: they are competing with you, not you competing with them. They are competing with you. Okay. One of the most beautiful things about, surrendering everything to God is that you don't ever have to compare yourself to anyone, and you don't ever have to compete with anyone, because once you have God advocating on your behalf, there's nothing more powerful than that. God will advocate for his. God will defend his, right? So anything that God has for your life, any plan, any blessing, any assignment that God has for you, nobody can get in the way of that. And understand that God is very orchestrated. God knows exactly how to communicate with people to encourage them when they're making their decisions, because God gives us all free will, right? But God does encourage us. And when God encourages us, it helps us make the right decisions in our life. And this is one of the reasons why we do have the Bible, because it helps us stay disciplined, right? And the Bible says that God establishes our footsteps. Once we surrender to him, he establishes our footsteps. So the beautiful thing about having this type of relationship with God is anybody that he's supposed to bring into your life and that he feels you are the best person for, he is also going to advocate to them. He is also going to communicate with them about you. Okay, so the Lord said they are competing with you. You're not competing with them, they're competing with you. And the Lord specifically was talking about counterfeits. Okay, he was talking about the other women that are after your partner. They see you as a threat. You don't see them as a threat. You know why? Because you're not really seeing them unless God shows you them. So you don't see them. You're not looking for them. You're not finding them. No. The only time you are ever even aware of a counterfeit is when you prophetically see them, whether they show up in the spirit, whether they show up in a dream, whether they show up at all. And whenever they do show up and God allows you to see them and allows you to be aware that they are around, it's because he's revealing something about them to you so you can take heed, okay? Because God is going to always make sure that you are 10 steps ahead. He's going to always make sure that you are discerned and well discerned in order to instruct your path, in order to guide your footsteps, right? So they appear in the spirit. You see them in the spirit. So you see them in the spirit before you even see them in the physical. But many of them, they found you in the physical. Many of them, they are definitely watching you, and they are consistently competing with you. It doesn't matter what type of competition. It does not matter what they're doing, because children of God do not compete with anybody. Children of God only want to evolve, and they only want to serve God, and they want to be the best versions of themselves to please God, okay? So they are competing with you, as in they know about you. They're keeping an eye on you. But let me tell you something. In the book of Esther, women were brought to the king's home, okay? And a lot of them had to go through beauty routines. Remember something. There are so many women there who are meeting with the king at a certain time. And out of all these women, Esther stood out to the king. The king did not forget Esther. Remember what I said about when God has someone for you, he is going to advocate on your behalf, which means that the person that he has for you, if there are other options or other decisions or other choices that they have gotten into and they're trying to figure things out, God is going to nudge their spirit when it comes to you. And God can nudge our spirit in any type of way. It could be a dream he sends, or a vision, or he audibly speaks. God is going to nudge that person's spirit to let them know that's the one. Okay? So let me tell you something. Even if they're competing with you, you continue to stay on course and you continue to focus on what God has in store for you, and you continue to be obedient, because at the end of the day, remember something, nobody can compete with God, right? If nobody can compete with God, and God is advocating on your behalf, and God has picked you, and you belong to God, what does that mean? They have already lost the competition that you didn't even sign up for, right? So continue to keep moving forward, continue to shine your light before man so they can see the glory of God, okay? I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.